Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. From slightly cooler days back to warmer days we go as we quickly approach the dog days of summer. It is time to wrap up travel ball for the 2025 summer campaign. But before we end this campaign and head on off into fall sports, why not one final big tournament with the 965 Midwest Challenge? It is the fourth and final Kent State Invite of the year. Up first today on day number 2 of pool play, it is Stark Elite and the Warehouse Warkats, and it is up next on SmeeSports.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say first, all glory to God. Without him, I am nothing.
Power the shove, Neighbor Nation! We will see you on Saturday afternoon! Riley Meister gets the point!
Back into left field! Say goodnight to that baseball!
This is another one! It's back-to-back jacks for KSU Tuscarawas! He's the point, and it's alive! Hansen pushes it over! Unbelievable! We play on! It's blocked! We're tied! We're tied! Unbelievable!
From Schoonover Stadium in Kent, we say good morning and welcome into day number 2 of the 2025 Kent State Invite, the fourth and final invite of the summer. Getting things underway this morning, it is Stark Elite taking on the Warehouse Warkats. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you live on SmeeSports for this Stark County clash. Both squads host in Stark County, as you would imagine, given Stark Elite's name and the Warkats having a good presence of Federal League players. Both sides housed in the North Canton area, but still some surrounding counties such as Summit and Portage have some representation on both rosters. Should be a good battle. 5 games. I believe we did have a tie, so today we could see more of the same. But looking at some of the later matchups, I do believe we will see a run rule or two, but this game maybe not so much as these teams come in very evenly matched. First pitch is a strike over the plate at 8:28, and we are off to the races. It is the lefty, Caden Colstar, stepping in to get things underway. Deep fly ball to left field, but it'll be tracked down right in front of the warning track for out number 1. Out in left field, that is Bryce Johnson, the rising senior at Louisville, catching up to it and making the play. On the mound for Stark Elite in this game to get things going, it is John Hamilton wearing number 10. And Hamilton this past year was one of the key contributors on a very talented Glen Oak roster, a roster that Max Preps ranked as the 10th best team in Ohio when it was all said and done. Had a 3.88 ERA and a total of 9 appearances, 5-0 record. He got the job done a lot for the Eagles. And that is what propelled them all the way to the regional tournament before they bowed out to Medina. And that was in a regional semifinal at Thurman Munson, where we will be tomorrow for the NABF World Series. Good responses. He's able to hit the top of the zone for a strike. It is Hayden Lewis, the DH, now in. This is a Federal League battle as Lewis represents green, and once again, Hamilton representing Glen Oak. 3-1 misses up for ball 4, and it is a 1-out walk for the Warkats. And that'll give them their first base runner of the day. 2-0 hits the strike zone. 2-1 the count. But a lot of changes being made in OHSAA baseball. And the biggest will happen in a few years from now, as we will have a double base down at first. That is where the outside, the runner will be able to hit, and the inside is for the fielder. Throw back to 1, not in time. That has been an idea thrown around by the NFHS for a long time now, but finally they are taking that concrete step towards player safety. 3-1 is up high for ball 4. It is back-to-back 5-pitch walks. And that'll put the go-ahead run in scoring position, setting up Grady Winder, the first baseman. Winder, a rising senior at Uniontown Lake High School. So I think for those just tuning in, you're starting to get that Summit County and that Stark County ideology in this roster. I mean, so far, we'll go through it again. Colsar Field, that's Portage. Lewis, he's from Green, so that is Stark County or right in and around it. Barker, Stowe, I believe that is Summit. And now Widner, Uniontown Lake, that is Stark County. So these squads know each other very well, and I'm sure that familiarity will definitely make an impact down the stretch in this one. Swing and a miss to begin, 0-1 the count. Stark Elite wearing their white jerseys with their nice light blue lettering, except for their second baseman. That is Myers wearing the dark jerseys of Stark Elite. The 0-1, it is going to be chopped up the middle, a high bounce over to short. The throw to 1, it is low, but in time for out number 2. Nice play made by the defense of Stark Elite. That out coming from Elia Mini. The only issue with it is that will now put 2 runners in scoring position. And that'll set up the shortstop, DJ Parton, with an opportunity to drive them in. Parton takes first pitch low for ball 1. Parton, the shortstop, a rising senior at Stowe Monroe. I believe a total of 3 Bulldogs on this roster. 1-0 up high for ball 2. Hamilton still trying to find some rhythm. Fly ball sent foul for strike 1. Those back-to-back walks definitely hurting right now, as he could be out of the inning, but has plenty of work still to do. Hamilton's 2-1. Grounded up the middle, scooped up at short. The throw to 1, it is going to be slightly wide, but it is still retired. Nice play over at short once again by Elia Mini, and the inning is over. 2 runners get on free passes, but nobody comes around to score. Middle of 1 in Kent, no score on SmeeSports.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Welcome back to Schoonover Stadium. Bottom of the first inning. No score on SmeeSports. Stark Elite did have two runners in scoring position via walks, but in the end, nobody was able to come around and score. First pitch to Johnson is going to miss for ball one. It is the left fielder, Bryce Johnson, the rising senior at Louisville, stepping in to lead off the bottom of the inning. The 1-0 ground ball hit off to the right side, scooped up at first, flicked to the pitcher at one is in time. One up, one down. Excellent communication off to the right side of the infield. First baseman did have to come off of the bag, but Widner still able to communicate with his pitcher, and that was enough to get the first out of the inning. And when you get that first out of the frame, you really do feel that your rhythm is starting to become kind of second nature. And in a game like this, where one mistake might be enough to end your hopes of making it to the next round of this tournament, you got to be making the best play possible. That is exactly what happened over there. First pitch is going to miss for ball one. It is Luke Heckert, the lefty, now stepping in. Good drive into right center field, but it is going to be cut off and caught in center for out number two. Nice work by Kolsar. Heckert had a good drive sent screaming into that gap, but once again, the range of the center fielder too much. And we've seen that all summer, center fielders having excellent range, especially on a diamond like this. The outfield is very unforgiving. If that ball gets down, it can roll a good margin, and that margin most likely enough to get it all the way to the fence. First pitch is going to miss for ball one. It is Grayson Brunoni, the first baseman, now stepping in the 3 slot. Brunoni, just like the leadoff hitter Johnson, a rising senior at Louisville. The 1-0 will connect to the outer portion of the strike zone, now 1-1. On the mound today for the Warkats, it is Sam Dubrovitz. And so far, Dubrovitz has had a good defensive outing. Ground ball hit over towards first base, picked up in no man's land, and the play is made. This time it is Widner taking it himself, and the side is retired. Through one in Kent. No score on SmeeSports. You are watching the 2025 Kent State Invite number 4 on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. We will be back to the action after a short word from our sponsors.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
To the second inning we go with 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Warkats to get things underway. It is going to be Cole Seidler stepping in, and he will send the first ball he sees into center field. But directly there for out number 1 as Cook barely has to move. A lot of direct flyouts so far in this game. A lot of quick offense from both sides. The only base runners coming from the Warkats, and they were on 5-pitch walks. And we will see if that trend does continue. Defense telling the story early on, but sometimes in these games, the offense waits until the end, and you really can't tell when the final score is posted at 8-7 that the beginning of the game was all defense. 1-0 up and in for ball 2. John Hamilton trying to control the strike zone slightly better than he did in the first inning. That'll help. Ground ball hit over towards short. Throw to 1. It is in time for out number 2. But he did have some issues in that first inning. Those 5-pitch walks definitely hurting. But once again, he just relies on his defense. And for the third time in this game, it is Elijah Minnie, the rising senior at Jackson, getting the job done at short. He has been plenty active over there so far. First pitch to Bieber is chopped foul, 0-1 the count. Seth Bieber, the righty, wearing number 17, a rising junior at New Philadelphia High School. The 0-1, another good pop over towards short, and yet again it is caught. Elijah Minnie, the web gem, and the side is retired. Through 6 outs recorded, 4 of them belong to Elijah Minnie over at short. It is a 1-2-3 defensive inning for Stark Elite. Middle of 2 in Kent. No score on SmeeSports.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
After going 1-2-3 in the first inning, Stark Elite returned the favor to the Warkats in the top of the inning. Now as we enter the bottom of the second inning, 4, 5, and 6, Hamilton, McCune, and Minnie. They will try to change things up for Stark Elite as they look for their first base runner and first run of the game. First pitch of the new half inning is wide for ball 1. Dubrovitz and Hamilton so far, no strikeouts, just a lot of fly balls and ground balls forced. The 1-0 on an elongated motion, and it'll be fouled away. Nobody on, but if somebody was on first, he has to be careful as that could be a borderline balk. He doesn't break, he doesn't do anything wrong. Just one wrong stutter in that motion, and that's a free base. Ground ball hit over towards short. That has been the theme of the game so far, and so has that. 1 up, 1 down. Nice put out by Parton over at short for the Warkats. That'll be his first put out of the game. You add his 1 put out to the collection of the shortstop Elijah Minnie. Then you, and we are not even through the second inning. Just shows you how important the shortstop role is going to be in this game. McCune fouls off the first pitch, 0-1 the count. Gavin McCune, the EH in this game, wearing number 51. 6 hits this past year and 2 RBIs for North Canton Hoover. And on top of that, he was a pretty steady pitcher for them. 2.47 ERA, 3-0 record through 10 appearances. Hoover's great run in the playoffs did come to an end in the regional semifinals, bowing out to Lakewood at Gilmore. And in the end, the Rangers' fairy tale season came to an end 2 days later, losing to Walsh Jesuits. The 1-1, ripped to the left side, tips off the third baseman's glove and into left center field. It is going to be the first base runner of the game for Stark Elite. Just a hard hit ball off to that left side. You could call it a single, you could call it an error. But with one down, McCune is on, and as an EH, his only role in this game is to get on and move runners along. Couldn't move anybody along, so he takes the next best thing, and he becomes the first base runner of the game for the home team. Dylan Minnie, the rising senior at Canton Central, now steps in. Throwback to 1, not in time. The number 6 hitter is the starting catcher today for Stark Elite. First pitch he sees is right down Broadway for strike 1. Dubrovitz has had a lot of good pitches so far today. Just still, like his counterpart Hamilton, looking for a strikeout. And this might be a game that we see 4 or 5 combined strikeouts, and the defense itself tells the story, not the pitchers. The 0-1 ripped foul, now 0-2. But that does put him in a good spot to potentially get the first strikeout of the game. A lot of foul balls so far, a lot of contact. That has been a big theme of this game, especially off to the left side. But no damage done by either squad. And when you look at all the matchups for today, you would say this was probably the closest one of the bunch. A couple of the games later look to be lopsided affairs. It just depends on how those groups end up playing. And I think the big one is, how is Team Ohio Pro middle? He's going to throw back to 2. He has that out. The back play to 1. It is not going to be in time. It is a basic fielder's choice for out number 2. And I like that aggressive move on the mound by Dubrovitz. Maybe didn't have the best angle to look back at second base. Still took that chance. And that chance gets the lead runner out. And now it is Myers, the second baseman, stepping in. Runner on first, 2 down. Throwback to 1 first, not going to be in time. Looking at Myers, he is a rising senior at Lake Center Christian. And LCC, they had a tremendous campaign, making it far in the playoffs. And they could be a squad that goes all the way next year and potentially wins a state title. Combined between these two teams, a lot of representation. I think overall 3 or 4 guys on Stark Elite. And that is a good core to bring into 2026. The 0-1 misses low, now 1-1 the count. Looking ahead to next inning, it is going to be Dubrovitz, Conroy, then top for the Warkats. So 9, 10, and 1 in the third. Throwback to 1, not going to be in time. Still, he does have that step up against him. That step just still too close to the bag to make any difference for the pitcher. One ball, 1 strike. Once again, Dubrovitz taking his time, trying to force time to be called, and he gets his wish. And this game has been going by relatively quick, at least from the scheduled start time of 8:30. We are 20 minutes in. Dubrovitz, he is slowing things down, and that a lot of the time is enough to kind of tip the scales. And he does so with that pitch. Now 1-2 the count. In quick games, whichever team controls the tempo does have that slight advantage, but that advantage usually not too noticeable. The 1-2 fly ball sent into shallow right center field, calls off, and it is going to drop. So it is going to be a 2-out bloop single for Myers. Just dropped it right in between second base and center field. Kosar had the better angle to the ball, and I kind of think he called him off, and in the end, the ball just dies in no man's land. And now it is the defensive man of the hour, Jacob Eliamini, stepping in. 4 putouts so far for Stark Elite. Can he bring that prowess onto the offensive end? First pitch out wide to the right for ball 1. But such an interesting game so far. A lot of contact, and now in the bottom of the second inning, the Warkats defense slowing things down, and that is only helping Stark Elite. And looking at this defense for the Warkats, Dubrovitz on the mound, Barker behind the dish, Widner at first, Bieber at second, Parton at short, Confer at third, C is out in left with Kosar in center, and Conroy in right, rounding out the defensive setup for the Warehouse Warkats. Time now called as Barker wants to have a word with his pitcher. And a 2-0 count here, dangerous spots. This is the time to settle him down. A walk here and the bases load up for Carter Hall. And Hall this past year for Glen Oak, very consistent. 5 hits, 5 RBIs. And you can do the math from there if he gets a base hit. Fly ball sent shallowly into left center field. This time it is going to be called off by Bieber, and he has it to retire the side. 2 runners on, no damage done in the bottom of the second inning. We speed off into the third inning. A quick game so far. The offense is both looking to get started in the third when we return.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Two innings complete in 25 minutes. A very quick start to our day here at Kent State's Schoonover Stadium. No score quite yet. Both sides able to get 2 base runners on, but nothing going. It was the Warkats back in the first inning and Stark Elite moments ago in the bottom of the second inning who did have that set up. For the visitors, it is Dubrovitz, Conroy, and Kosar, 9, 10, and 1 hitting this inning. The 1-0 runs inside for ball 2. Since the last time we saw this Warehouse Warkats squad at John Carroll, that was a few weeks ago, they have been down to Georgia. And unlike the Devil, they didn't lose the fiddle. They ended up winning a couple of games. 3-2 their record down in Georgia. And I would assume that no bets, as the song suggests, were made. I would at least hope. The 2-1 hopping in for ball 3. And I really hope that if a younger audience is listening that they do understand the reference. Otherwise, I'm going to feel really old in around 5 minutes from now. The 3-1. It is going to be in there for strike 2. A late call brings them back. 2 walks so far today, surrendered by Hamilton, and both were on 5 pitches. This time he breaks out of it and has a chance with a full count. The payoff pitch, it is down low for ball 4. No, they call it late. It is strike 3, 1 down. And at long last, we have our first strikeout of the game. That late call kills them again. And that is why you cannot toss your bat until you know it is ball four. That zone, whether you like it or not, kind of subconsciously gets bigger. And that makes it kind of tough to then protect. But 1 up, 1 down in the inning, and it is Joey Conroy, the right fielder, stepping in. Conroy, a rising senior in Portage County for Mogadore Field. And they are not to be confused with Mogadore. Mogadore High School, the more green color scheme. They now have that very nice new turf diamond field. They are the Falcons, and they are a red color scheme. Combine them, and you got Christmas, which tomorrow represents, I believe, 5 months until that day. 1-2 on Conroy. Hamilton sets and delivers, and he will bounce it in for a ball. Hamilton doing a lot better this inning, still longer at bats, and that could put his longevity in question. But a swing and a foul tip into the glove for out number 2. That'll definitely help out his case as he now has 2 strikeouts today. But pitch count is going to be everything in this game, and the more he gets his pitch count up, 5-6 pitches in an at-bat. Say that it was, on average, 6 the first time through, then that's going to be 60 pitches. Just to put it into perspective of how the pitch count can easily ramp up, even though it doesn't look like it would. And on top of that, that would put you at around 20 pitches per inning. Good drive down the left field line, but foul. And I still think Hamilton has a couple of innings left to go, at least in this game. But that could be put into question later on. The 1-2, swing and a miss. It is a drop third. There is the tag, and the side is retired. No strikeouts through 2 innings combined. Hamilton, he strikes out the side in the third. A very bizarre game so far. You have a storyline, and that storyline then becomes obsolete in the next inning. What new twist will he have in the bottom of the inning? Find out when we return to Schoonover Stadium on the campus of the University of Kent State.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Welcome back to Schoonover Stadium for the bottom of the third inning. Stark Elite 0, Warehouse Warkats 0, your score on SmeeSports. So far today, the defense has told the story. No strikeouts through 2 innings, but Hamilton able to get 3 in a row in the third. Now the question is, what does the defense of the Warkats have to offer in this frame? First ball put in play is a grounder up the middle, picked up at short. And Parton's throw to 1 is in plenty of time. 1 up, 1 down. That'll be his second put out of the game over at short. And combining him with Elia Mini, that is now a total of 6 for the shortstops. So a lot of plays up the middle and off to that left side today. With 1 down, it is J.R. Cook stepping in. Cook, a rising senior at North Canton Hoover High School. Fly ball sent down the right field line, and it'll be caught for out number 2 in foul territory. Nice work by Conroy getting over there and making the play right in front of the wall. A quick 2 up, 2 down inning, and we go back to the top. Not quite yet, as we still have our number 11 hitter. That is the difference between these two rosters. Stark Elite batting 10, or they're batting 11, excuse me, and the Warkats batting 10. It's Koblenz, the right fielder, in the 11 slot, stepping in. A stutter on the delivery, and it is a strike. 0-1 the count. And going back to the pitching motion of Dubrovitz, kind of that slight stutter. I don't want to say it is the Nestor Cortez shimmy because it's not, but kind of a weird delivery, but it has worked for him so far. Doesn't matter how it looks. If it's a good pitch, it's a good pitch, and that's something that I learned in my years of covering this sport, and on top of that, in my years of playing. Here comes the 0-2, and it'll bounce in for ball one. But we've seen some really interesting throwing motions. Maybe the upright one, the most difficult to hit. It doesn't look the best, but if it gets strikes, it gets strikes. That's what matters in this game. The 1-2, tipped foul. And looking ahead to the next time that baseball is prevalent for the high school group, somehow in some way Max Preps has some schedules, so we might be months and months away and a calendar year away, but we have schedules for 2026. That is really wild to see, and we've seen that for basketball, albeit it's a lot of just non-conference games on top of some conference in there, but we're still looking for those big matchups, those marquee games that will really pop off of those Max Prep pages. Nothing quite yet. Here comes the 2-2. And it is going to be there for strike three looking, and the side is retired. First strikeout of the game for Dubrovitz, and the inning is over. Through three in Portage County, Stark Elite 0, Warehouse Warkats 0. Your score, you are watching the 2025 Kent State Invite number 4 on SmeeSports in partnership with the 965 Midwest Challenge.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Top of the fourth inning at Schoonover Stadium. No score quite yet on SmeeSports defense. Telling the story so far. And finally, at long last, we have some strikeouts. None through the first two innings of this game. But in the last frame alone, we had a total of 4. 3 for Hamilton and 1 for Dubrovitz. Good drive into center field, but right to Cook for out number 1. And that has been a pretty big storyline in this game. Nice hits, good power, directly to the defense. And as somebody who used to be a power hitter when they played baseball, I know that feeling all too well. You see that great line drive into the outfield. So far today for Barker, 0 for 0 as he walked his first time up. Hamilton's 1-2, swing and a miss, 2 down. That'll be his 4th strikeout of the game. 4 in the last 5 batters that he has faced as well. It took both pitchers a little while to settle into the game, but both are here and both are pitching really good games. With 2 down, it is Widner, the first baseman, stepping in 0 for 1 with a ground out to his name. Outside of our coverage today here at Kent State, we will have some other Kent State coverage. You might be wondering, okay, how are we doing that as you are here? But It's really exciting. I just want to make sure that ball was not put in play before I mention it. Our intern, Dan Ridenauer, he is currently in Detroit as he is at the MAC Media Day. He is going to talk to some BG guys, some Kent State guys, and hopefully get some comments from Brock if he is there. Brock Lowry, the now quarterback of Western Michigan. I'm being told that he is not there, but Brock Lowry is somebody that I did cover back in 2022 with Holy Name as he knocked out the Green Wave in the Final Four as Canfield won the state title. The 1-2, they will appeal down, and the appeal will fall on deaf ears as the decision is no. But very happy for Dan as he will be there representing us and giving some great coverage. So make sure you check out his social media pages. We will be reposting those. And on top of that, check out our website at SmeeSports.com. I think everybody thought the inning was over, but the umpire says no. The 2-2 is up high for ball 3, and we are full. I think Widner was the only one who knew it was a ball outside of the umpire. The payoff pitch, that one misses up high for ball 4 as it climbs the ladder, and it is a 2-out walk for the Warkats. I've seen a couple of guys move off the diamond before a call was made, but I don't think I've seen the whole team try to vacate the premises before. It's a new tactic that it could work, but in that instance, it does not. But to wrap things up, once again, congrats to Dan for getting credentialed. Helped him out with that on Monday. But that was all him. He took the initiative, and we are looking forward to seeing what he can do as he will be our BG coverage along with some other MAC content this year. Glad to keep him on as he will be one of our interns moving into a more organized role with us. So now it is Cole Seidler, the EH, with an opportunity to bring them both in. Cole is a rising senior at Mogador Field High School. Maybe the best chance that we have seen in the last couple of innings for some offense. First pitch, it is in there for strike 1. And going back to that 2-2 pitch, if that would have been called a strike, the inning would have been done there. But we are still battling in this top of the 4th inning. And a decent shot that the Warkats can get on the board. Good drive down the line and right. But it is going to be foul. Now 1-2 the counts. And that could have been the breakthrough they needed. Good swing, yes, but not straight enough. Looking ahead to the next inning, Johnson, Heckard, and Brunoni, 1, 2, and 3 for Stark Elite. And before the 0-2 time, will be called in the batter's box by Seidler. No surprise to see him take a second, as this is going to be one of the biggest pitches of the game so far. Hamilton's 0-2, good drive into left center field. It is going to be down, and that is going to bring in the opening run of the game. It is a big RBI single for Cole Seidler, and it is the Warkats striking first in Kent. At long last, the offense is on the board for the Warkats. Their second opportunity with 2 on. This time they get the big breakthrough swing. Seidler straightens it out and puts it perfectly in front of Johnson and Cook in left center. And on top of that, that'll keep 2 on, still with 2 down. And Antonio C. has a chance to bring in another. First pitch fouled back, 0-1 the count. But in talking to the Warkats head coach, he said that trip to Georgia really did help this team become better. They do have some injuries. One of the big ones, at least he's not here today, is Rylan Hurley, the rising senior at St. V's. Could be a reserve for this game, but that is a big loss for them if he is not able to play in this tournament. And I know that he is also on top of that. If you look at this again, or correction, he is now in here, so we are good there, but I believe he is also a wrestling talent, so give him a lot of credit for being here and able to battle as he is now in for C. He'll take that one low for ball 1. These jerseys very nice for the Warkats. Still kind of tough to see the numbering, and when their backs are facing the opposite dugout, hard to see when the numbers are changing. The 1-2 up high for ball 2. But looking at Hurley this season, 227, 20 hits, 13 RBIs, 2 doubles, 1 triple, and a homer. A very good player for St. V's. 2-2 up high for ball 3, and we are full. So after Hurley, it will still go to Bieber. And I would assume that means Hurley is going to come in and play left. Payoff pitch is down low, and the pinch hit results in ball 4, and the bases are now loaded. Good work from Hurley in the box, and that patience, no surprise to see it from him. And his time and call, just once again, talk about St. Feast baseball over the past couple of years. Couple of seasons ago, not the best team on the planet. I mean, a lot of struggles, a lot of controversy around the program. Then Coach Shepard comes in, an alum of Akron, I believe from 2001, revolutionizes that program, brings them to Skeels Field for their home games. Plays a lot of great games there. Gets them into the regional tournament this year, bowing out with a 4-run loss to Wampakoneta. And they still do lose a lot of key pieces this upcoming year, but they did after 2024 as well. That might be, once again, a team that we want to see a little bit more, because we know, okay, when push comes to shove in late May or early June, they can get the job done, and they could be a dark horse team to make it to the Final Four, or heck, they could even win it all. I think the infrastructure, especially with a guy like Hurley now as a senior, is in place. Bases loaded, biggest opportunity of the game for Bieber and company. They have the 1 run, so even if this does not go their way, they do have that to take into the bottom of the inning. But if you can take a 3-4 run lead in this inning, that changes the dynamic of the bottom of the inning. Back pick down to 1, not in time. And going back to that one pitch, the 2-2 that just missed the zone, that one pitch could have changed the game and could have kept it 0-0. And in fact, it would have, as that would have ended the inning. The 1-1 fouled away, now 1-2 the count. But so far, Cole Seidler, the point of difference with a big RBI single for the Warkats. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Bieber. Hamilton sets and delivers, and it is going to be launched foul once again. Make sure you stick with us throughout the day as we have 4 more games after this. Up next, it is the SBA Lions as they will take on, I'm trying to think who they are playing in that next game. Total 9 teams playing today, only 1 repeat. But they are up next, and they should have a good game on hand. The 1-2 fouled back. And now it's going to bother me who they're actually playing. OSF DeSico, that's who it is. So that'll be up next at 10:45. There's so many games this summer and so many games over the next couple of days. Hard to keep track of who is playing when. Once again, fouled away. And the battle continues from Bieber. Sam Dubrovitz, the starting pitcher, is in the on-deck circle for the Warkats. And in the hole, it is Joey Conroy. One of the longest frames of the game so far. Once again, the 1-2, it is going to be low. Count now even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Bases still loaded. Hamilton sets and fires, brings it inside, ripped over towards third, and the play is made, and the side is retired. Cole Seidler, the point of difference right now for the Warkats. He gets a big RBI single with 2 down, and that is where things stand. Middle of 4 in Kent. The halfway point of this one, it is the Warehouse Warkats up 1-0 on Stark Elite.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Welcome back to Schoonover Stadium for the bottom of the fourth inning. The Warkats in control now, just slightly up 1-0 on Stark Elite. Elite now has an opportunity to change things in this bottom of the inning with the top of their order hitting here. The 0-1, it'll hit him, and the leadoff man Johnson is aboard. A good hard 90 to begin the inning. You get a free base runner, and you can work from there. And now it is Luke Heckert, the EH, stepping in. Heckert was a big notable addition to this squad heading into the tournament. His normal summer team ended their campaign, and he decided to hop on here with Stark Elite for one final rodeo this summer. And we mentioned Lake Center Christian already as a contender next year once again. He is a big part of that. And when you look at Stark County and the surrounding areas, you go to where they are in Hartville and you think of Lake, but Lake Center Christian, they are now for sure on the map. And I would say that they were even before this campaign, but all it takes is one big season and you are household names. And I would say, Canfield was already on the map, but with some big pieces, they are now even more so on. And that is how you also put yourself on the map. It is a great rip into right center, and that is going to tie things up at 1. He is going to stop at third. It is a big RBI triple for Stark Elite. And here is the offense at long last in the fourth inning. It took some time for the offensive juices to finally get flowing, and there it is with a beautiful gap shot. Heckert ties it up, and now it is Brunoni's job to try and give Stark Elite the lead in the bottom of the inning. So far today, 0 for 1 with a ground out. First pitch will clip the outer edge for strike one. Dubrovitz starting to, I would say, kind of get phased. Hit a batter and then allow that big triple. Shallow pop-up off to the left side. In no man's land, it is going to drop, and that is going to give Stark Elite the lead. A blooper into shallow left field. Heckert easily scores, and Brunoni brings them in. Don't really know if it hit anybody. You could call it an RBI for Brunoni. Either way, Stark Elite, 3 batters into the bottom of the inning, no outs recorded, and they have flipped the game. Down by 1 entering, now up by 1. And that is a pass ball to add insult to injury. Stark Elite turning a corner in the bottom of the inning. Held up with the bases loaded, only allowed that 1 run to come in. And now they are finally getting the ball rolling. Time is 9:21. Still plenty of time left to go in this game. Most likely 7 innings will be played. But as we are starting to get into those later innings, to take this advantage into the 5th, that is key. Good drive over to the left side. It is through. Yet another base knock for Stark Elite. John Hamilton, the starting pitcher, now pulling his weight offensively. And that puts runners at the corners. Still nobody out. Time quickly called by the Warkats. And this will be a big mound visit for Dubrovitz. And now the question is, looking at this Warkats lineup, who do you bring in if you do make that call? You have a lot of good players on your roster, but you look at Stark Elite, they have the, I would say, better pitching depth. I still think you get Dubrovitz through this inning, potentially. Now, if it's 5-1, then I think you might make that call, but that is an extreme still, as that would take this batter who is stepping in now in McCune to come around and score. Possible, but I would say we cross that 5-1 bridge, or even that call to the bullpen bridge later on in the inning. It's a couple of unfortunate at-bats. It doesn't erase the great start that he has had. I mean, before this inning, he had allowed 1 hit, or 2 hits, excuse me, and they were shallower hits. But now in the 4th inning, that is starting to change. Runner's going to go, and on indifference, he is easily in at second. So McCune, an opportunity to drive in a pair. He did have 2 RBIs this past season for Hoover as a sophomore. So one of the younger guys in this game, and he could potentially be the youngest guy. Just depends on how the birthdays line up with some of the juniors and, well, himself. The 0-1, good rip into left field, but it is going to be caught for out number 1. Easily could have gotten down, but I believe if Hurley did sub in, that's him. Otherwise, it is C with that excellent play. If that ball's down, that's 2-0, or 3-1, excuse me. A little bit off there, but instead, it stays 2-1. And an opportunity to work out of this inning presents itself. First pitch is going to miss for ball 1. In a situation like this, already allowing two more ready to come around and score as they are in scoring position. Getting that first out is key. It shows you can do it. High pop over to second. The play at 1 is in time for out number 2, but it will come at a cost as the 3rd run of the inning comes around to score. I think they do take that out, but if that was I would say, routine grounder, that would have been an easier play to make all the way around, and potentially you do have a shot at home. But the way that ball was hit, no real shot, and Minnie gets the job done. Now it's Myers trying to bring in the 4th. Swing and a miss on the first pitch, 0-1 the count. Next inning for the Warkats, it is Dubrovitz, Conroy, then top with Kolsar. Myers backs out there and will take ball 1. Myers 1 for 1 today. The 1-1 also in, and that time he is further off the plate, so it wasn't nearly as close. Hitters count 2-1, still a runner at 3rd with 2 down to work with. And time now called, as I believe the catcher got caught in a bad spot on the ball going down. It'll be a ball, so 3-1 the count. But as the catcher does get attended to, we will step aside. 3-1 your score. Stark lead on top of the Warehouse Warkats. The catcher appears to be okay, and that is a good sign. That was Barker who went down for the Warkats, as it looked like he just needed to walk around for a second, and he is back in and ready to go. The pitch, it is going to miss, and I believe now that means we are full. I believe going back to that last pitch, they did in the end rule it a strike, so now we are full 3-2. There was no ruling because of that injury. Now we have a ruling payoff pitch. It is wide for ball 4, and it is not really going to matter what the runner does now, as run number 4 has come around to score. That was always the goal of the at-bat. The goal was to bring him in, and Myers does just that, I would say, in a less conventional manner this time around. But Stark will lead a 4 spot in the 4th inning, up by 3. And now that'll bring in Elia Minnie, the shortstop. After calling his name a lot through the first 2 innings, nothing much for him defensively since. And you look at it, nothing since the lineout that he caught from Bieber. And that was to end the 2nd inning. Throwback to 1, not going to be in time. But as a defender, it is not the worst thing when your name is not always called, as that means you do have a couple of plays that you can, I don't want to say take off, but plays that are easier for you. If everything was hit to him after a 10-11 putout, that fatigue is really going to set in. Fly ball sent shallowly into left center, and it is going to drop, and it is past the center fielder, so this could bring in a run. In the end, it will not, and that'll put runners at the corners with 2 down. It is yet another bloop hit for Stark Elite. Eliamini now 1 for 2. And on the error, which the error was not the ball being dropped as he did not have a play on it. The error was it getting past. That moves up that lead runner and I believe Myers up to third. So now an opportunity for Hall to bring in run number 5 of the inning. And with runners at the corners, Eliamini could take off here. Instead, he won't. Chops up the middle. And it is going to be an easy play over at second base. The fielder's choice retires the side. But Stark Elite out of nowhere plates 4 in the 4th inning. 3 innings left to go at Schoonover Stadium in Elite 4. The Warehouse Warkats won your score. You are watching the 2025 Kent State Invite number 4 on SmeeSports in partnership with the 965 Midwest Challenge.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Welcome back to Kent, Ohio for the top of the 5th inning. Game number 1 of the day. Day number 2 of pool play at the 2025 Kent State Invite number 4. This is the 4th and final invite of the year. And so far, the story has been very interesting with this competition. In the first one, the number 1 seed Premier Gambetta ended up winning it. And that was more by default as the tournament ended early due to rain. And if you want to see why, you can go and check out Premier Gambetta versus Athletics. Well, the first 20 pitches of that game, as nothing else happened, that is still up on the channel. Then the second one, the number 2 seed ended up winning it, as that was Mash Factory Berkwin. Nice play over at second in the meantime. Throw to 1, it is late, and the leadoff man is on. Nice work from Dubrovitz. But going back to the, I would say, history of this year's circuit of Kent State Invites, it was the 2 seed Mash Factory Berkwin taking home the second one in a extra inning game against the MAF Gators. And then in the third one, you guessed it, it was the 3 seed PA Playmakers taking down the Wow Factor in the championship game. A controversial championship game as there were a lot of ejections. But that would put the number 4 seed in line to win this one. And if that were the case, then they would have to win a total of 3 games on Sunday, I believe. We will not be here on Sunday for those games as we will be at Thurman Munson wrapping up our summer ball coverage with the championships of the NABF College World Series. And our coverage overall of that will begin tomorrow at 11 a.m. as the Jasper Reds from Indiana take on the Mountaineer Lumber Company. The 0-2 runner goes, and it is going to be a pass ball. So that'll put run number 2 in scoring position for the Warkats. But that'll be an interesting affair. Once again, the Lumber Company below 500 in WRCL play. But when push came to shove in the tournament last year, they took down the 4-time defending NABF World Series champ Stark County Terriers in the semifinals before demolishing Premier Ohio, I believe, 23-1 in the WRCL championship game. So always a tough team to go up against. And as there are only 7 teams, the top 3 make it to Sunday. So we will see how many of the 4 WRCL teams and the 3 non-WRCL teams, which include the 3B Barons, the Jesper Reds, and the Canton Class A squad, make it to the final 3. Time now called. Hamilton, he is going to be talked to by his coach. And we will see if he does take the ball away from him or not. It's an interesting spot. Stark Elite, they're up by 3. But do they give Hamilton a rest or do they give him the vote of confidence? And I believe the vote of confidence is going to be the choice that they do make. And I would say that is the right choice to make right now. Hamilton still throwing a tremendous game so far. 1 run allowed, a couple of hits, a couple of walks. But he has really settled things down. And you look at the rest of this pitching staff that you do have, a lot of top-end guys. But why not let Hamilton do his thing here and make it where other guys can pitch later on in this competition? The 2-2, it is going to miss low for ball 3, and we are full. I mean, you look at a couple of these guys like McCune, 3-0, 2.47 ERA. He is a guy that could come in potentially. Payoff pitch, it is grounded towards short. The throw to 1, it is in time, and there is out number 1. And for the first time since the second inning, it is going to be Elia Mini getting a putout. He now has 5 today. Still just flooring numbers. That is really something that you don't see from one player, but consistency has been his calling card so far today. First pitch is going to be on the outside edge for strike 1. It's a big opportunity here for the Warkats, but as Hamilton ramps things up, it is quickly 0-2. It is Kolsar back in the leadoff spot. 0 for 2 today, a flyout and a strikeout. Hamilton's 0-2, grounded over towards first. They're going to throw home, and it is going to be on the floor, not in time. So a bold move to try and cut off the run at home. He's safe. That makes it 4-2. And on top of that, the runner at first is also safe. I get why you do that, but in a game like this, you're up by 3, take the sure out. You then clear the bases, 2 down. Instead, runner on, 1 down. And still the run scores. So opposed to being 1 out away from getting out of this inning, you bring up the tying run. And that is Hayden Lewis. But Stark Elite, they have to work out of this inning, as that would be a hard way to give up their lead. 1-0 up high for ball 2. In the on-deck circle, it is Evan Barker, the catcher. And a good spot for him if this does become a walk. Throwback to 1 on the hot move, not in time. So 2 balls, no strikes. Hamilton still very active on the bases, trying to pick off the runner, and he will try it again, but it is once again going to be late. So now I believe his focus will go back to the batter, really as it should. 2-0 count here. He has to find something, and it is going to be pieced up the middle, scooped up at short, and they will get the out at 1, and the side is retired. 5 putouts today for the shortstop, Elia Mini. He wants 6 and 7, and he gets it on a 6-3 double play, and the inning is over. Talk about redemption for this defense. They allowed that run, and now it is their strong man over at short getting the job done. You see the out over at second, and then at first, a nice relay, and that is enough to end the top of the 5th inning. Middle of 5 in Kent. Stark Elite allowing 1 run, still up by 2. 4-2 your score on SmeeSports.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Time now for our first call to the bullpen of the day, and it is for the Warkats as they will bring on Ethan Zetwash, the rising senior at Stowe, as he is now in for the starting pitcher, Dubrovitz. Dubrovitz, 4 innings of work, 4 runs allowed, and unless things change offensively for the Warkats, he is in line for the loss in this contest. But Stark Elite, their offense, they are not done. They want to respond after allowing a run back in the last inning. And right now in a good spot, 2-0 count to begin things. It's Cook, Koblenz, and Johnson. So bottom 2, then top 10, 11, and 1. And that is the big difference offensively between these two teams, at least on paper, looking at the box score outside of the score. Stark Elite batting 1 more than the Warkats. 3-0, it is in there for strike 1, and based on the approach of Cook, really no surprise there. 9 times out of 10, unless it is a for sure ball, if it's borderline, they're going to call it on a 3-0. The 3-1, it is inside, and that'll be ball 4. So the leadoff man is now on for Stark Elite. And we will see what that means for them as this inning progresses. A big inning last time out, and one more big inning, and they could really solidify their win. But still some time left to go. They do have to finish this game out, as there is plenty of time on the clock. Going back to the overall game timer for the time limit, you do have 2 hours. And as things stand, we still have, I believe, 45 minutes. And basically that means we have to get the next inning done in 45 minutes or less to play the 7th, which I would assume does happen. The 0-1 up and in, now 1-1 the count. Up next, after this game is over, we will have the SBA Lions taking on OSF DeSico in game number 2 of the day. And that is scheduled to start at around 10:45 a.m. The 1-1 lightly bunted down the right side, foul. Count now 1-2. And it's well a new setup-ish for us today. We made the investment in a longer case that we set everything in and we travel with it like that. So getting here a little bit later than usual and having pretty much everything ready to go outside of the camera and the computer. That ended up being a really nice touch today. So hoping this new setup is going to work out well for us. The 1-2 high pop-up. This one appears to be staying on the infield. It'll be called off on the mound. And the play is made by Zetwash for out number 1. A high hanger that usually the catcher would call off, but in this case it is the pitcher calling him off. the rule of thumb is in a spot like that, it should be the catcher's ball, but if the pitcher or another fielder does have a better angle, they do call him off. And that's exactly what happened there. Now, as a catcher, you can't say you to your pitcher and the ball falls. As a catcher, you kind of have to take ownership of that play, but if you're called off, you have to get out of the way. You don't have the best angle, but you have the best chance to get there. With one down, we go back to the top of the order with Johnson. Johnson takes a first pitch strike, and in the on-deck circle, it is going to be Heckert. And Heckert so far today does have a big RBI triple for Stark Elite, and as a guest player, nothing more that you could really ask of him. He's here kind of on loan for the weekend, and it is just to simply get some extra reps in, and those extra reps have provided a good spark so far. Runner will go, chop swing, throw down a 2. It is not in time, and in the end, back at the plate, they will call it a strike. Still a stolen base, but now 0-2 the count. I do like how they let that play kind of develop. The umpire knew what the call was going to be. He didn't want to yell it or kind of distract the catcher. He let him make his throw, and then the call was made. I would say overall a nice umpiring decision. 0-2 the count. The pitch. Up and in for ball 1. And a lot of people are so negative about umpires calling out every single wrong play and every single wrong decision. But in a game like this, you look at the positives and you see, okay, they have let both teams play and they have made the right calls pretty much every single time. Runner will go again. 1-2, it is wide, and that is yet another stolen base for Stark Elite. That time, it comes on indifference. And as well, a 2-2 count. Didn't really expect to see him go there, but clearly it does appear to be the right decision. The 2-2 flown down the right side. This could be a tag-up spot. He is going to catch it in foul territory. He is trying to go home. The play is not in time, but is he out of the base path? I think the answer is no, so he is in. So a really obscure sac fly. That'll make it 5-2, and he kind of just danced around. And I believe he should still have the back end of that on replay. You'll see it there, just goes right around him. And in talking to people, usually you do have a couple of feet either way, and I think he took that completely to heart. And in the meantime, we do have a good rope down the right side, but it is going to be caught in right field, and the inning is over. But I felt that replay was definitely fitting to look at, as that was a tough one to decide, okay, was he in the base path or not? He was in the end, and that is enough to bring in run number 5. Through 5 in Kent, it is Stark Elite up 5-2 on their Stark County counterparts. You are watching the 2025 Kent State Invite number 4 on SmeeSports in partnership with the 965 Midwest Challenge.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Welcome back to Schoonover Stadium, top of the 6th inning, and it is Stark Elite up 5-2 on the Warehouse Warkats. the home team in control of their own destiny in this game. And so far, they have been really good and as expected, but this could be a turning point for the Warkats. It is a great rip into left center. It is down at the wall, and it is a massive leadoff double. And just like that, the Warkats offense gets some pep in their step right away. One of the biggest swings of the day so far. Just a beautiful drive, and that is enough to bring in a really good start. And as that double is recorded for Barker, that'll bring in Widner. So far today, Widner has walked and has grounded out. That second pitch of the inning fouled away, 0-1 the count. But to get a good start to the inning, that is really where it's at for this offense. If they start early, that gives them enough time to put the pieces in place to tie this game up, or at least put them in a spot to do so in the final half inning. Or if they can tie it up, that would not be the final half inning, but the last inning. 0-1 is going to hit the outside of the zone. Now 0-2 the count. In Stark Elite, they do have the luxury of playing up by 3. So they can mortgage a couple of those runs to keep their lead intact. The only thing that does matter is runs allowed in this tournament, but otherwise, the stat sheet and overall the bracket does not discriminate between any wins or losses. A win's a win, a loss is a loss. And in a lower-ish scoring game, these runs potentially will not matter. The 1-2, it is going to be there for strike 3 looking. 1 down. That is strikeout number 5 today from John Hamilton. And all of these strikeouts have come in the last couple of innings. None in the first 2. Had 3 back in the third. 1 on, 1 down. And that'll now bring in DJ Parton, the shortstop. Parton so far today has walked and has grounded out just like Widner did. Count now 1-1. And if history does repeat itself with him, that means he would strike out here. But he is trying to change history a little bit and have it favor the black and neon green. The 1-1 popped up off to the right side, trailing on into right field, and it is going to be caught over at second base by Myers, 2 down. And that is a nice ranging play for him out there as well. That was not an easy ball to catch up to. Almost collided with his right fielder, but good communication in the end is all it took, and they get one step closer to winning this game. They now need 4 outs, 1 here and then 3 in the 7th. But after that leadoff double, 2 down, and now it is Seidler who hit an RBI single his last time up, back in. First pitch he will take for strike 1. And if you can get 1 in here, make it 5-3, that gives you a better shot heading into the final half inning to tie it up or take the lead. You got to get something here. Otherwise, you need a 3-run rally to keep the game going or a 4-run rally to take the lead. And even so, that might not be the parting line entering that inning, as Stark Elite, they could play the couple here. Now is their best chance to get something else on the board. The 0-1 right down Broadway, now 0-2 the count. And this is why they didn't take out Hamilton. This is why they didn't panic back in the 4th inning with the bases loaded. He has that great firepower and that it factor. Can he show that it factor one more time in this inning? The 0-2 brings it inside and forces the foul ball. That definitely was going to be inside for ball 1, but it appears Seidler not taking any chances. And as a pitcher, if you can force your batter to swing at pitches that are well out of the zone, and even if they foul it off, you are doing something right. The 0-2 again, swing and a miss, goes down low out of the zone, and the side is retired. Another strikeout for Hamilton. He now has 6. Middle of 6 here at Schoonover Stadium. Stark Elite firmly in control. Their offense, one opportunity to pile on the runs one more time when we return.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
As our next two teams ramp up their warm-ups off to the side in the field house out in left field, we are back to the action in the bottom of the sixth inning. Stark Elite one final frame to do some damage before turning things over to their defense one final time to try and solidify this quick win. We are still under an hour and a half into this game, a very quick game by the standards of this competition, but it has been a good game so far. Defense early, but as I kind of alluded to, those early defensive games can turn into slugfest, not as extreme as the 8-7 example, but still 7 combined runs as Stark County is up 5-2 on the Warkats. The 1-1, it will run inside, and it is a hard 90 to get things underway. And that'll see Brunoni reach for the second time today. This is the battle for Stark County. You could say there still are the Stark County Terriers and other teams in Stark County not represented today, but Stark Elite, well, that one is, I would say, pretty self-explanatory. And then the Warkats, who are housed in North Canton. Once again, you can do the math from there. But a good battle between two Stark County outfits. First pitch fouled back, 0-1 the count. John Hamilton, the rising senior at Glen Oak, back in. A good day on the mound so far as he has struck out a total of 6 batters, allowing 2 runs. And on top of that, at the plate, a single and a ground out. So 1 for 2. And speaking of good performances, he could be an early candidate for our player of the game presented by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. So make sure you stay tuned after our final commercial break. That'll happen once this game is over. And then once we return from that final break, we will announce our recipients. The 1-1, it didn't hit him. It's just a pass ball. And that'll make it 2-1. I think behind the dish, he thought it hit him. But in the end, it does avoid him just barely. And Barker lucky that did not result in an extra base taken. So 2-1 on the pitcher for Stark Elite. The pitch, it is off the dish for ball 3. Once again, it is Zetwatch on the mound for the Warcats as he came in earlier on in the game for Dubrovitz. 3-1 the count in the on-deck circle after Hamilton. It is McCune. And he will now step in with 2 on, nobody out. It's a walk for Hamilton, and it is back-to-back free passes. 1 hard 90 and 1 walk. And now time will be called by the Warcats as they want to talk things over with their pitcher on the mound. I don't think this would be a call to the bullpen. I think we're too far in the game, and given the score, I don't think you make the change here, as that would be another arm that you might not be able to use again. That is the difficult thing here. You might think, okay, this guy might have a better avenue to getting us a win, but down by 3, and you look at the tournament, a lot of games left to go this weekend, and this is going to be it. This is the final tournament weekend possible. You don't want to play your cards too early and run out of pitching. And we'll see, as it does appear that Zetwash has been handed some glasses, and I think we will see the call to the bullpen here. Kind of a surprise, I would say. We'll see who that is here in a second, as I believe that is a number 12. We'll see when he turns around here. If he does. That is 12, so that is going to be DJ Parton, the shortstop, coming in. And based on that, I would assume that means Zetwash is going to stay in the game and move over to short. Unconfirmed, but we should have that information once we return as our new pitcher warms up. We will step aside on SmeeSports. 5-2 your score. Stark Elite on top of the Warehouse Warkats. The call to the bullpen has been made, as it is going to be DJ Parton, the rising senior at Stowe, now on to pitch for the Warehouse Warkats. He is going to be their third arm of the game. Zetwash, we did see him go into the field. He is now going to move over to second base, and it is going to be Bieber moving over from second to now play short, replacing Parton, and that'll round out our defensive changes, at least for now, for the Warkats. But in the meantime, they will have some extra action in their bullpen. And we will see who that ends up being for them. It did look like number 1, Dubrovitz, ran out there to warm up the new pitcher, so we will see who that ends up being. I believe that is going to be a lefty. 2-0 bounces wide. Good pick behind the dish. After McCune, it would then go to Minnie, the catcher. 2 on, nobody out, and a chance for Stark Elite to load up the bases. Not quite, it is right down Broadway for strike 1, first strike of the day from Parton. And now he needs to continue from there. He cannot have the bases loaded early on in this inning. And there is the late call once again. McCune, he has to go back and do it again. We are full. Those late calls have really messed with some batter. We have seen some very elaborate bat flips today. And once again, one who thought he was on has to be brought right back. And we are full. Can Parton get the outs? Not quite. It is ripped into left center field. And that is one way to say you should have walked me. That is going to bring in 2. McCune is at 2. He is not stopping there. He is going to third. And there he will finally dive in head first. Thought he was walked. Instead he uncorks. It is a 2 RBI triple. Make it 7-2. And I feel like that is the biggest case of ball don't lie that we have seen this summer. It's one thing to get a single or to walk then on the next pitch, but to, after having the bat flip happen, to then switch on and do that, that's impressive. And that is the fun bit of summer baseball. You don't have as many signs. If you want to swing away and take one of the heftiest cuts of the day, you can, and he did just that. And now it is a 5-run game. But Stark Elite well in control, and if you are Hamilton, you have to be pleased as your win appears to be safe. Fly ball sent into left. It is going to be caught, and there is out number 1. And our retire Mini. Even more so, the Warkats offense is going to need to get hot again in the next inning, as they have 3 outs to play with. And once again, make sure you stay with us throughout the day, as game number 2 is up next, scheduled for 10:45. It is going to be OSF DeSico taking on the SBA Lions. Should be a fun one. OSF, an up-and-coming organization, a lot of growth this year. Then SBA, I believe, a baseball academy based out of North Royalton. Have not seen them before, and I'm going to hold my hands up and say I have not heard of them up until I started doing research for these games. So I'm excited to see what we can learn from them, as sometimes these teams you don't know can be some of the best teams, and we found that out with Team Ohio Pro Select, who we will see later on today. When we first saw them, we see that handle of Team Ohio Pro Select, and okay, you see a bunch of those catchphrases, those key words, but truly they live up to that name, and you'll see that later. The 1-2 up high for ball 2. But they will be a treat to watch at 1 and 3:15. The 2-2, weak chop foul down the left side. And then at 5:30, it is the Marucci Spikes, who have one of their teams play at 3:15. Their other one plays at 5:30 against Release Carinci, and that'll round out our day here at Kent. The 2-2 ground ball hit over towards second. Nice pickup. Throw to 1. It is in time. 2 down. But that'll bring in McCune, making it 8-2. So a productive ground out from Myers. But Starkville lead up by 6. This has been a great finish for them. Their offense has come alive, and once again, they did not score the first run of the game. That honor belongs to the Warkats. They scored that in the top of the 4th inning. They responded with 4 in the bottom, 1 in the 5th, and so far 3 in the 6th, and that might be the parting line. Once again, it goes to second. Throw to 1 on the money, and the side is retired. Nicely done over at second base by the replacement, and that is Zetwatch. He was on the mound, moved over to second base, and he does get the final 2 outs, but not before Stark Elite plates 3 more. Through 6 in Kent, it is the boys in white and blue up 8-2 on the Warehouse Warkats. One opportunity for the boys in black to get back in this game. 3 outs to play with when we return.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Last ups for the Warkats as we enter the top of the 7th inning. It is going to be Rylan Hurley in to lead things off for the Warkats, since coming in 0-for-0 with a walk. But going back to the bottom of the 6th inning, Stark Elite up 5-2. They played 3 runs, and 2 of those runs came on as a very, I would say, interesting twist to the game. It was a 2-2 count, or excuse me, it was 3-1 actually. The ball was up in the zone, and McCune thought it was ball 4. Not quite, as it was called a strike. He got called back, and then he hit a big ball into left center field. In the meantime, it is Hurley with a lead-off single, so he is now 1-for-1 today. But going back to last inning, McCune then full count. After thinking he was walked, unleashes left center field. 2 runs come in, a 2 RBI triple, and that is, I would say, the definition of Paul Don't Lie. Hurley, in the meantime, back in safe with a headfirst dive. Seth Bieber, the second baseman turned shortstop, now steps in. First pitch fouled away, 0-1 the count. The Warcats need 6 runs to tie, 7 to take the lead in what will be the final inning of this game. We play 7 here, 2 hours time limit, and we do have some run rules. Not going to see that today, but we could see that later on in one of these next games. The 0-1 down low, now 1-1 the count. I would say we would see at least one. I believe we did see one yesterday here. But I would say we'll see at least one or two. And just to set the stage for those, 15-run lead after 3, 10 after 4, 8 after 5. And so far this summer, we have seen 2 ties. We have seen 1 tie in this tournament so far. And going back to last week, both of the ties that we saw were, well, here at Kent State. So that could happen again here. Before the 2-1 thrown back, not in time. And if you are Stark Elite, you just need to focus on the batters right now. Up by a whole host of runs, get the outs at the plate, and focus on what you can control here. And usually after these throwbacks, you're going to see a ball, and that is what we are seeing here, 3-1 the count. Hamilton's still in. If he does walk him, that could end his day, and that would then ruin his opportunity for a complete game. And instead, it will hit him. It is still ball 4, as that'll be a hard pitch to take. Time now called, and I think that after losing him, that is going to do it for him. We'll see if Hamilton does stay on or not, as this is an interesting spot. You could keep him on, as he has been great today. But I kind of think based on the demeanor and the feel of everything that this is going to be his curtain call. And if it is, he deserves all the praise and I would say all of the applause possible. McCune runs on to give a glove away, but he could be on to close. But Hamilton, his day is done, and I would say he had one heck of an afternoon. At least feels like an afternoon. It's still morning, but as he trots on off into the dugout, he did some great work, and we will see who is on the mound now, as I believe that is going to be number 19, Bernoni, the rising senior at Louisville. As Bernoni warms up with 2 on, nobody out, we will step aside. Stark Elite up 8-2 on the Warehouse Warkats. Bernoni is warmed up and ready to go for Stark Elite in the top of the 7th inning as he is on to close things out for Hamilton. Won't be a save as he does have a 6-run lead in hand and won't be out here for more than 3 innings. So we will see what he can do in this, I would say, cleanup job outing. And over at first base, replacing Bernoni, it is McCune. He will get some action, and that action is going to result in the ball flying into right field. And that'll put runners at the corners. And going back to that last at-bat, that is where things kind of fell off for Hamilton. Too many attempts over at first base, threw him off at the plate, and from there he got pulled. If you are Bernoni, you have to focus on the plate here. If the runner goes, he's going to go, and that'll put 2 in scoring position. You have the run support to make up for it. High pop-up forced on the infield off to the right side. It'll be called off and caught at second base for out number 1 as Myers brings it in. And I will say, we talked about it earlier. The update, it is confirmed. Myers, he is out of the black jersey. He is now in his typical white. He wore black to begin the game and then had a wardrobe change, I believe, during the 2nd inning. First pitch, a strike, 0-1 the count. With runners at the corners, still an opportunity to bring in at least 1 for the Warkats. But Brunoni quickly settling in. Now it's an 0-2 count and an opportunity to get out number 2. And he clearly is wasting no time, but now time called, as that'll slow things down at least for a few moments. No balls, 2 strikes, and once again he will step off. Conroy trying to bring in 1. The 0-2, it is there for strike 3 looking, 2 down. And that'll be the first strikeout of the day for Brunoni. As we go back to the top of the order, Stark Elite can sound their final countdown. It is going to be Kolsarian to try and keep the game alive. First pitch taken by the lefty, 0-1 the count. Make sure you stick with us after our final commercial break, which is coming up in a few moments after this game is over, as we will announce our player of the game, presented by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. A lot of good candidates on this Stark Elite squad, but I do think that we have our guy nailed down right now. And if it is who I believe I am going to give it to as of right now, then a very deserving recipient. Hard hit over towards short, and it is fitting that he is the last out of the game. Aliamini makes it yet another putout, and his great day in the field is complete, and so is the game. 8-2 your final score. Haven't called Alamini's name all too much since the first couple of innings, but one final flashy putout. No better way to round out the game for the star shortstop and for Stark Elite. A 6-run win for the home team. We will step aside here. One final word from our sponsors and be back on to announce our player of the game, presented by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Stark Elite 8, the Warehouse Warkats, to your final score in game number 1 out of 5 today at Kent State as a part of the Kent State Invite. Your player of the game, presented by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, belongs to none other than John Hamilton, the starting pitcher for Stark Elite. 6 strikeouts today, and on top of that, he walked and he singled. 1 for 2 overall offensively. He got the win, allowing 2 runs, and for that, he is your player of the game, presented by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, and we do deserve some honorable mentions today. And that one honorable mention that we will give out, it is going to a very deserving player, Jacob Aliamini. Without him at shortstop, this game could have been very different. He had the final put out of the game, had 4 through the first 2 innings, had a double play today. A lot of great work over at shortstop, no errors. He was perfect in the field, and it's 2 schools that really don't like each other all too much in the Federal League, Glen Oak and Jackson, with representation combining to get one heck of a win for Stark Elite. To stay up to date on all the games that we are covering, follow SmeeSports on Instagram and SmeeFest 2024 on Twitter. As well, subscribe to the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Enable push notifications to be notified when we upload or go live. Our goal is to reach 5,000 subscribers by the end of this calendar year. We're going to put it on the screen now, and you see some play wrestling there. So if you're new, go down below and subscribe. It has no cost, and it greatly helps out all that we do here at SmeeSports, but that completely caught me off guard. Did not expect to see that today at Kent State, but there is never a dull moment in this industry, and that is what makes sports broadcasting such a pleasure to do. Off to the left, it is the SBA Lions, and off to the right, it is OSF DeSico warming up on the diamond as they get ready for their game scheduled to get underway at 10:45. Time now to hop on over to game link number 2 as the Lions battle OSF in our second morning game of 5 today here in Kent, Ohio. But that'll do it for game number 1. Stark Elite takes home the win, 8-2 your final, as they are able to down the Warehouse Warkats. I am Nathan Smee saying so long from Schoonover Stadium for now, and we will see you again in a few moments for game number 2 of our 5-game slate. This has been the 2025 Kent State Invite number 4 on SmeeSports in partnership with the 965 Midwest Challenge. Thank you all for tuning in. We hope to see you again very soon, and if not soon, meaning today or tomorrow, we will see you again next time.